One of the things Bernie did recently, and it pisses me off because it's not an audio, it's not a video, it's written, okay? And we know people can take things out of context. People can say, like the way that you take out a quote and you just put it there and this looks really bad, right? But, okay. Bernie did something. He gave an interview to the Associated Press. AP interviews Sanders, says opposing Biden is irresponsible. That's the title of the article. I got a feeling that was not the title that Bernie thought the article would be. Yeah, it's kind of like, this is the thing we want you to focus on in the article. That Bernie said opposing Biden is irresponsible. I question the title, and I question people who read this title and didn't think, hey, that's a weird title. Is he talking about himself or is he talking about his supporters there? Sanders says opposing Biden is irresponsible. Opposing him. It sounds like opposing would be something that a candidate would do to another candidate, doesn't it? I'm just saying, like, if you're a voter, you can't oppose someone. You cannot vote for them, but can you really oppose them? You're not on the playing field. It just seemed a little weird that people were framing this article as Bernie saying that Bernie supporters shouldn't oppose Biden. Oppose him. You know, Buster Douglas opposed Tyson. People in the stadium didn't oppose him. They either rooted for him or they didn't. Okay, so anyway, here we go. Bernie Sanders said Tuesday that it would be irresponsible for his loyalists not to support Joe Biden. Irresponsible not to support him. Warning that progressives who sit on their hands in the months ahead would simply enable President Donald Trump's reelection. Unless there be any question, say what? Unless there be any question, the 78-year-old Vermont senator confirmed that that's a weird, like, dodgy sentence. I don't get it. Unless there be any question, the 78-year-old Vermont senator confirmed that it's probably a very fair assumption. What the hell? This article got y'all angry? I'm angry just trying to read the shit. It's probably a very fair assumption that he would not run for president again. He added with a laugh. One can't predict the future. Okay. Sanders, who suspended his presidential bid last week, spoke at length about his decision to endorse Biden, his political future, and the urgent need to unify the Democratic Party during an interview with the AP. He railed against the Republican president, but also offered pointed criticism at his own supporters who have so far resisted his vow to do whatever it takes to help Biden win the presidency. He seemed to distance himself from his campaign's former National Press Secretary, Briahna Joy Gray, when asked about her recent statement on social media refusing to endorse Biden. A great statement, by the way. She's my former press secretary, not on the payroll, Sanders noted. A spokesman later confirmed that all campaign staffers were no longer on the payroll. Sanders said the supporters have a simple choice now that Biden has emerged as the presumptive nominee. Do we be as active as we can in electing Joe Biden and doing everything we can to move Joe and his campaign in a more progressive direction? Or do we choose to sit it out and allow the most dangerous president in modern American history to get reelected? He continued, I believe that it's irresponsible for anybody to say, well, I disagree with Joe Biden, and therefore I'm not going to be involved. I thought you said it would be irresponsible to oppose him. See what I'm saying? This is the problem I have, folks. I got a lot of problems. Ask my detractors. But this is the problem I have. In this article, they say Sanders says opposing Biden is irresponsible. But here he says if people sat on their hands, it would be irresponsible. I'm not sure if I disagree with that point. We shouldn't sit on our hands. I'm not saying we should vote for Joe Biden, but we shouldn't sit on our hands either, Johnson. Like, we should get involved. Maybe we should get involved. Some people want to get involved with a third party. Some people want to get involved with local elections. Some people want to get involved with varying degrees of trying to push Joe Biden to the left. Some people want to get involved with the Trump administration. I don't know. I'm not one of them. But being involved is important. And if you are an active person, involved in campaigning, maybe now would be a good time to still be involved. I guess you can make that argument but not the argument. If he's making the argument only that you should only get involved in helping Biden, I don't know about that. And I understand why people would be upset with it. But the framing of the article title is not the same as what was quoted. And why are you doing so much talking, AP? Won't you just put up what he wrote or what he said? Won't you just say, and then he said, and let him talk, instead of you tell us what he said and what he meant? Won't we just be able to see what he said and how he said it? Sanders said, I believe it's irresponsible for anybody to say, well, I disagree with Joe Biden, and therefore I'm not going to be involved. Well, okay. And some people will say that. Isn't that what people say? They say don't sit out an election. People say they're not going to vote. Don't people say that all the time? Like, if you don't vote, that's irresponsible. People say that. They say that in my community anyway. Maybe they don't say it in yours, Johnson. But when people say they're not going to vote, people say that's irresponsible. People died for you to give you the right to vote. Like, this is the same rhetoric we've been hearing for a long time. It's really bad now because people are mad because they don't like Biden. Sanders said he would not actively campaign or spend money on advertising in the primary contests that are still on the calendar in the coming months, but he still encouraged Democrats in those states to vote for him, hoping to amass as many delegates as possible for leverage to shape the party platform in the direction of Biden's campaign. Well, hold on, let me get this right, guys. So Bernie Sanders, the guy who endorsed Biden, still wants you to vote for him. He also vowed to continue fighting for progressive priorities, such as his signature Medicare for All as a senator, even though Biden has refused to embrace the government-backed single-payer healthcare system. Okay, guys, see now, this is why I had a problem with the tweet that Crystal Ball sent out. Okay? Crystal Ball sent out a tweet totally ignoring that Bernie said we should keep voting for him, and that he's going to still fight for Medicare for All, and just made it about how Bernie's dogging out his supporters and calling them irresponsible. Well, none of them have voted yet, so they can't be considered irresponsible yet. But if he says, come election time, if you don't get involved, that's irresponsible. We got too much on the line. And if he's planning on trying to push Joe Biden to the left on these issues that he's talking about, wouldn't he need your help? So, why come this article was not titled, Bernie Sanders says, keep voting for him? Why isn't the article titled, Bernie Sanders wants you to keep voting for him even though he's out? Even though his campaign has been suspended, okay? Not out, Tim, suspended. Why isn't the article titled that? You know why it's not titled that. Because that's not going to get clicks and views. That's not going to have people sending out tweets saying how horrible Bernie is. Come on, guys, we've been here before. We know what's up. We've been paying attention. Why isn't the article titled, Sanders says vote for him? He vows to continue fighting for progressive priorities. I find that kind of newsworthy. As many, upset, frustrated people that I've known who've written me over the last couple of days, why wasn't that considered newsworthy to the AP? See how the narratives matter? They do matter, Johnson. Check out the third page. If people want to vote for me, hold on a second. Let me get this is important. Here we go. Let me make this as big as possible, guys. You got to read this. If people want to vote for me, we'd appreciate it. Wow, he keeps talking about voting, don't he? If people want to vote for me, we'd appreciate it. That's kind of, That's pretty good. He says, now this is AP talking now. Here we go. This is not him. This is them framing it for us, telling us what to think about, what's important about what he said. Sanders said there are roughly 20 primary contests that remain where his name will appear on the ballot. He later added, I think you're going to see a significant movement on the part of the Biden campaign into a more progressive direction on a whole lot of issues. Okay. And then it goes on to say Sanders did not outline any specific plans to begin helping Biden in earnest, though he noted he held dozens of rallies for former Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. Okay, Johnson. Okay. Now, guys, I don't know. I don't know where you come up on this, but look, I understand why people would be upset if you only read the tweet that other people made. And I can kind of see why you would be upset if you read just one of the statements. But if you put it kind of all together, is it really what he said really that bad? It would be irresponsible to not be involved. I get that. He said he's going to try to push Biden to the left on a number of issues. People weren't giving him credit for that. People kept saying that he's not getting anything. Then he sure sounds here like he's really working on that. People keep saying, he got nothing for it. He got nothing for it. Well, maybe they didn't announce it yet. Sort of like with Obama. He just came out with his endorsement of Biden. We all knew he already had supported Biden. He was already working behind the scenes to support Biden. But since it hurts Bernie, you're very quick to accept that he got nothing for it and he did it for nothing. He wasn't trying to win. He's full of it. He's scared. He's a coward. He never tried to run. This is all a joke. Amazing, man. Amazing. Now, I don't fault everybody who got upset seeing that tweet, though I saw a lot of you. But I do fault people I know who read that whole article. If you read this entire article and all you got from it was Bernie doesn't like his supporters and doesn't support them, hell, I think he said worse things in 2016 when he was talking about you should be careful not to be mean to Hillary supporters. I hated that. But this is not as bad to me. To me. I don't like that tone police crap. That's what I don't like that. You need to be nicer. I hate that. I hate that stuff. But what I'm saying, guys, is like a knee-jerk reaction to always throw Bernie under the bus. And I'm telling you guys, some of these people are connected to the Republican Party. Some of these people are bad actors, and we need to call it out. So, look, I'm sorry if you don't want to hear it. I'm just telling you the truth. You ain't got to accept it. You ain't got to like it. But I got to tell it to you. I have to let you know. Some of these people are not acting in good faith. I am no Joe. I'm hashtag no Joe. I was also hashtag never Hillary. Nothing's changed here. But what I won't be is I hate Bernie or Bernie's fault. I won't be hashtag Bernie's fault. Bernie did it. I won't be hashtag blame Bernie. I won't be hashtag Bernie is a coward. I won't do that because to me, if it wasn't for Bernie pushing this country to the left, unlike some people, I recognize that just because he may not have said everything I wanted him to say at every juncture, he's the only reason why we're having these conversations about minimum wage increases, Medicare for all increases. He's the only reason why it's on the front of everyone's mind, why it's out in the consciousness of the country. I'm not saying he originated all these ideas. I'm not saying other people didn't do their part. But what I'm saying is he's been the guy. I saw him in debates by himself taking fire from 5 people on these issues. And now, just because he had a live stream with Joe Biden, he didn't bring it up. Now, all of a sudden, these people are throwing Bernie under the bus, saying he's not fighting for the thing that he's been fighting for. He just said right there in the Associated Press article, he's still fighting for Medicare for all. I don't feel like it's fair to just blame one person. But back to the no Biden, no Joe. Back to no Joe, guys. I understand people don't want to vote for Joe Biden. I understand it. I don't want to vote for him either. I want to fight for the issues that matter. Okay? The issues I care about that I always cared about. It's always been about policies for me. Hopefully you feel the same way. I wish that Bernie went to the convention. I have to keep saying that because you may be new, you may not know. I wanted Bernie to go all the way to Milwaukee. I was making plans to go to the convention. I wanted Bernie to go to the convention and fight for it. But the fact that he didn't do that, or it doesn't seem like the fact that he suspended his campaign, though I'm disappointed, I'm not going to say it was for nothing. Because it was for something. It was for all those issues that we've been talking about that we wouldn't have been talking about if it weren't for Bernie. You really think if Bernie didn't run, that Elizabeth Warren would have carried the torch for you? Half of them half the people that said they supported Medicare for all backed off of it as soon as someone sneezed. So who was going to talk about it? Who was going to be on that stage, that national stage, all of those nights and talk about Medicare for all? Bernie's the only one who stayed with it. Why is no one calling that out? Why is that not an issue? And why don't you see that as a plus? Look, if you're one of those people like me who feel like you need to teach the Democratic Party a lesson, I totally get that. I'm with you on it. But I don't think bashing Bernie is how we get to it. I think that there's all types of people that played a part in the mess that we're in, and I don't think one person gonna fix it, and I know damn well one person didn't get us into it, okay? So that's where I stand on it. If you cannot vote for Joe Biden, cool. You got a home, because I ain't voting for him either. But unlike some people, I won't be shitting on Bernie as a reminder that I'm not gonna vote for him. I could disagree with Bernie. I have my own mind, my own constitution. I make up my own decisions. That doesn't mean he's a sellout or a turncoat. Is it possible that Bernie Sanders actually believes Trump is the worst person to be president? Is it possible that maybe sincerely he believes Joe Biden would be better for the country? You know, there are a lot of people who think he would be. Okay? I'm not so certain of it, but there are other people who are very certain of it. They think that 4 more years of Trump would be horrible for our environment, for our economy, hell, for our psyches. Now, I know there's a lot of people watching this show who don't feel that way. They feel like, oh, everything's overblown with Trump. Well, I got a bunch of social programs that Trump cut, and the people that used to receive those programs, who needed them to live, they don't agree with you, Johnson. Obviously, you're not one of those people. But those people who were cut, there's an issue. But if you don't want to vote for Joe Biden, I get that totally. That's why I'm the one who's had no Joe buttons and no Joe shirts in my store since September of last year. While these people are Johnny-come-latelys talking about Joe Biden in the last 15 minutes. And now they want to act like they're the ones leading the charge against Joe Biden. I was on the front lines calling out Joe Biden back then. September 2019 is when I made this design in the No Joe t-shirt that we put in my store, that we've been relishing, that we've been sharing. Right along next to my No Cop Mala. And Forget Pete shirt. Okay? I was the one doing that. Right? And my Amy Klobuchar is a cop. All right? So, and don't forget, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack on patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, and join us there. Yes. For only $5 a month, you become an official member. And join me, text me cornbread, the word cornbread, to code 21,000. 21,000 to join my VIP text list. Hope to see you there.